Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I've got all the beautiful new in colors in view for you. New catalog from Stampin' Up! Means a new set of in colors. We've got Tahitian Tide, that's a beautiful light turquoise. Remember tempting turquoise? Oh, I miss turquoise so much. So this is a beautiful one here. And here's one of the designer series assortment papers that comes in all the in colors, 40 sheets. 8 sheets of the 5 colors in 6x6. So you've got that beautiful Tahitian Tide. You've got Parakeet Party. Here's another design on one of the assortment packs with the polka dots, the plaid, the polka dots. And you can see this is a bright green, and you can see how much brighter it is than the Granny Apple Green. So you can see that it's got a definite difference there. Then we go to Starry Night. And Starry Night is a really pretty, like a deep purpley blue. I would say almost like definitely on the purpley side. Here's Misty Moonlight. So you can see the difference here in the blue. And then this is Night of Navy. So you can see there is a big difference in those colors there. And it is definitely different from our other purpley color that we have, Orchid Oasis. So we're gonna put that little guy there. Orchid Oasis is a nice lighter purple. You can see the definite difference there with Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. So you can see the definite distinct difference in the purples there as well. And then we go off to this beautiful Sweet Sorbet. And the Sweet Sorbet is definitely a different, it's in that kind of a red family. And you've got, wanted to show you, bring notice to the paper. You've got a pretty pinstripe, and you've got these floral, the polka dots, and the plaid. So on the other side of the polka dots, you've got the plaid, you've got the posies and the pinstripe, okay? And then here, you can see the difference here in the colors here with this Sweet Sorbet. This is real red, and this is Poppy Parade. So you can see there's a distinct difference in those reds as well. And I used to think with Poppy, whichever color I pair it with, it's definitely different. Poppy is a brighter than the real red, and the real red is just a nice, true red. And now we've got this beautiful Sweet Sorbet with us too. So we've got all the ink pads, all the cardstock, and designer series paper. And we also have this really fun Tea Boutique. Now this is an assortment of 20 cards and envelopes for only $10, and it features all of our in colors, Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. So we are going to take a little look there at these papers, all featuring the new in colors. Look at those pretty Orchid Oasis in there. You've got the Tahitian Tide. You've got the Sweet Sorbet, and there's also other additional colors in here, the Blushing Bride, and in here we have some Fresh Freesia, and you have some green, Garden Green, and some Crushed Curry, and then you have 2 other great patterns in here. I love this pattern here with these flowers, and this floral pattern here with the envelope with the flowers in it. So I'm gonna show you something I'm gonna do with the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. I'm going to do a one sheet wonder with a 6x6. Okay, we're just gonna take that 6x6 and we're gonna put any side up against the top of our trimmer. And we are going to go to 1.5 on the left side of our trimmer. And we're going to put a little tick mark at 1.5. Now we're gonna turn it counterclockwise, and we're gonna do another tick mark. That one, actually, my hand messed up a little there, so I'm gonna erase that and get it straighter. So right there, turning counterclockwise. We're gonna do that to all 4 sides, counterclockwise, 1.5. And then this last one here. Now, all we're gonna do is we're going to take and go from one tick mark to the other tick mark on opposite sides. So doesn't matter which way you cut it, if it's this way, but you're taking from a tick mark to a tick mark. You'll have one on the bottom, one on the top. And then when you turn it this way, you're gonna have one on each side. So what I'm going to do is make sure I see them all. One. Did I miss one? Let me see here. One. One, and oh, I did miss one here. No, I didn't. It's just too light. I didn't see it. Okay, so one and one. Okay, I see them all. I make them so light. So you're just going to, like I said, pick one. They're opposite sides. And on this one, you've got the tick mark here and the tick mark here, okay? So you're just going to put one of the tick marks and go to the opposite side. Doesn't matter where you start, but you see tick mark, tick mark. You're gonna close this. You're gonna use your dark cutting blade and cut diagonally. Then you're gonna keep that paper together. You're gonna go to the other two tick marks. So I have a tick mark here. So that means I have the opposite side. And then I just go right back to where the tick mark is. And I'm holding the paper together, tick, tick. This is where it's really not a big deal if you're off a tiny bit. Tick, tick, keeping our paper together. And we're going to cut again. Now I did one of these one sheet wonders before, but I just wanted to show you. So then you end up with 4 pieces, and it doesn't matter if they get all scattered around, because when you go to make your card, you're just going to put the corner of the one that has the perpendicular square 90 degree. So that would be one card. This is going to be on one card. That is going to be on one card. Oh, we got to make sure because I'm not using my grid paper today. So that's going to go on one card. And then this one will be like that. Wait, this way. So you just make sure wherever the corner is, it just goes in that corner. And it doesn't matter which way you put them on, because I can mess them all up. Now I'm going to show you what I did. Here is one card I finished, and I used these really pretty cards. They're nice and sturdy, and they have these beautiful matching envelopes. I mean, you get 20 envelopes and 20 cards for $10. And then what I did here is I put my designer series paper on here, and then I just put a little trim on there, a scalloped layered circle, a new stylish shapes circle. Now notice here, it's not stitched. It's got little pricks like needle point. So I love that it's different than our stitched shapes. And then I stamped this on here, but I'm not sure that I like that on there. It doesn't pop off enough for me, so I probably won't do that on the other ones, but I'm going to show you how I did that. So like, for instance, this was one of the patterns that's in, oh, I didn't show you all the patterns. The patterns are so pretty. You've got this one with the Orchid Oasis, and it's just got a kind of a vintage antique look here with just little plus signs in there. So that's your Orchid Oasis one. This one features our Starry Night. And so like I said, as I just picked colors out to accentuate the card here. So right here, there's a little tiny bits of the Parakeet Party. So what I did is I just took this card here, and then I just took the corner. And you don't have to necessarily use the Parakeet Party. You could choose to use the Sweet Sorbet, or you could choose to do one of the other colors. Let me get my camera up here a little better for you there on angle. So what you do is you just pick one of those, and like I said, this one just happens to go in this corner nicely. Then I'm just gonna look on the back, make sure that's nice and straight. And we've got that corner card there, and then I'm just going to put a little bead of glue along this edge and along this edge, just a little bead of glue there. And then I can put this accent of Parakeet Party there. Put one here. Okay. And it doesn't matter that they don't match there, because we're going to be covering that. Okay, so we have that accent there, and then we're just going to trim off these little pieces here. Open our card up, And we are going to just snip off that parakeet party border. This is so simple. Now you realize you're getting 4 cards out of one 6x6 piece of this. And I like doing that with my 6x6 because you can get 4 cards out of it. So we're just going to take this layered circle, put some glue on there, and use this circle that came from the Stylish Shapes. Stylish Shapes has circles, squares, and banners in it. And of course, it's on the other side of the room. So we are going to glue some glue on there. And we're just going to cover up that little corner edge we made there. And look how pretty that parakeet party, that bright green just pops right off of the Starry Night. And actually in this, you can see a little orchid in there. Then I just took the cup. Now I'm using the Tea Boutique, the cup of tea, the Tea Boutique DSP with the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, but I'm using the cup of tea bundle. So you've got the cups that can be stamped. As you can see, I stamped them here, and they can be die cut. You can die cut these flowers. You can do this foliage here and put the flowers amongst it, and you can cut them all out. It's got a little lemon or a lime or an orange, whatever you want it to be. So what I did is I stamped my Starry Night cardstock with Starry Night ink and then die cut it. And so that's going to go on there to pop off and coordinate with the colors in that. Now this cute little tea tag that goes on a tea bag, what we're going to do there is use some of the embellishments that are also, we have these embellishments in our catalog. We have the Orchid Oasis, the Tahitian Tie, the Sweet Sorbet, the Parakeet Party, and the Starry Night. So what do you think here? I think we should jazz this up and maybe use some, I was thinking Parakeet Party would be pretty. Or yeah, let's just do a little piece of Parakeet Party there. So all you need is a itsy bitsy piece of this to make our little string for our tea. And what I did is I took and my mini dimensionals and I put the string on the back of my tag. Okay, whoop, there we go. Actually, you know what would actually work well is if I just stick it right onto the baker's twine, and then you just stick it right onto the tea bag. So it's doing double duty there. And then you can fit another mini dimensional on there. And make sure you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, let me get take your pick tool. I got that a little further over. So we're just going to put that a little bit, placed a little better there. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to take off these little pieces here, and we're going to we're going to adhere that to the front of our cup. So there's the front of our cup, and you can see we're going to just like make this a little bit longer than it would be, like it's kind of just hanging over the tea bag there. On the teacup. So we'll take a bigger dimensional, one of our bigger dimensionals here. I couldn't find my small dimensionals, and now I have 3 of them open. So we're just going to take a bigger dimensional, and we're going to stick that part of our baker's twine. And like I said, that baker's twine is all in all 5 new in colors. So there we go. We have that little tea bag on there, and let's throw a couple more dimensionals on here. Okay, and that sentiment says, I miss you. This is a great one to send just as a just because. Okay, so we're going to put that pretty cup there, and that's just, you know what, I think I want that to go over a little bit more. See if I could be, well, I think I got it down there pretty, oh no, it's coming off for me. I tell you, it's crazy when you're doing a video in the perspective of where you're looking. And I just want this to be over a tad. So I think I caught it. So I want, there we go. I wanted the whole cup to be on the white. Oh, but I want the bottom to be. So there we go. Okay, so we've got our cup there. So this is a pretty fancy looking card there, right? Okay, so then we have that coordinating envelope that is pretty. And then we're just going to stamp on the inside. So let's see here. We are going to put from this stamp set here, the Let's Get Together Soon. So let's get together soon. I'll put that on there. And since I'm using the Starry Night, I'm going to use the Starry Night on the inside. Just have to get it off my little cart beside me. So I'm just going to use the Starry Night. I'm going to get little taps, just little taps with a little stamp. Okay, we're going to open this up, and just down in this corner, we're going to stamp Let's Get Together Soon. So there you go. Super easy card. All we did was cut our paper into those, you know, we just took a 6x6 and we just cut it. Made 2 cuts, simple. So there's a card there, and guess what we can do? We can jazz up this card with some of these matte decorative dots that come in the new in colors that'll be around for 2022 to 24. So let's see. We used the Starry Night, the Parakeet Party, and we've got some of the Sweet Sorbet in here. We've got some of the orchid here and these flowers. This is fresh freesia. So we could just put in, I don't think I'm going to put turquoise because I don't see turquoise in there. And I did this. Maybe we'll just put a few little do you know what? I actually don't think I'm going to put those on there. I'm just doing this on the fly, and I'm going to put that over there. I think the card just looks nice and simple that way, but I did get a little glued on in there. Okay, I just think the card looks great that way, but believe me, we're going to use these up like crazy, all the new in colors in those matte decorative dots. But like I said, I just think that adding anything to it just takes away from it. You know, sometimes less is more, right? But sometimes more is great. So this card, I think, is just perfect the way it is. No problems with mailing it because it doesn't have any bumps and lumps on it. And so here is one card you would make out of the 4 sheets. Now the next card here, we're not going to make it online, but what I did with this one, as you can see, I just still kept the sentiment in the Starry Night, but this one I just had the corner up, and this corner has a matching envelope, and then all you do is put these together. So mass producing and using this card kit, this package of cards here, you just get this package of cards and use the tea. But if you don't have a teacup and you want to put something else here, you could put any, like a big sentiment on here, a get well, a happy birthday. It doesn't, but this card, the envelopes kit, is just so versatile. So I just used the green on that one. And so I already showed you the Starry Night. Here is the Parakeet Party. This was the Orchid Oasis. And I said, we used to have one called Orchid Opulence. Okay, so here is the other one we have, and this is the Sweet Sorbet. And the same thing I did on this one is I did the Sweet Sorbet to match the card, and the envelope matches with that. I still used the Starry Night ink, but I used Orchid Oasis on here because it's in the designer series paper. Okay, and then I will show you that there's one more pattern in there, and it is the turquoise, okay? Which is called, not turquoise, Tahitian Tide. Now you can imagine I'm gonna be calling this turquoise for a year, for 2 years actually, for the 2 years that it's here, but it's Tahitian Tide. So there is this one more color. So you've got all 5 colors here in that pack. It's a great pack to find out all about your new in colors. But there isn't actually a turquoise in this patterned paper. So I didn't, plus I only had 4 pieces that came out of that, so I made 4 cards. But this piece of paper here that's in there really looks pretty with this because, why? It doesn't have any turquoise in it, but look how they put this flower arrangement here on this turquoise Tahitian tide color. So I would pair up this DSP with this to make this card. But I would also be able to use this pattern on every single one of these cards. Why? Well, actually, I would do it with this card. I would do it with the Parakeet Party because it matches with the Parakeet Party. But I probably would not do it with these 2 patterns because these 2 patterns have the purples in them. So they have the Orchid Oasis and the Fresh Freesia in it. So I would pair this one, could go with 3 of the cards in it, in the kit. It's not a kit, it's a, you know, the cards and envelopes packs. But I would use this pattern here with this one. But it's not to say you couldn't take and use this paper with all of them. Now look at this. I mean, this goes with all the colors. You see them all shown there. It matches with these ones. It's a little busy, I think, putting that with that. But there's so many different things you can do with this Tea Boutique Designer Series paper and the card pack that has 10 envelopes and 10 cards, and they are very, very pretty. And so this was just a sample of how I put together 4 quick cards, just using my, here we go. I think it's easier to see it this way. You've got these different patterns here, and this one here too. So you've got 4 different envelopes that you get in there, 5 different envelopes you get in there, and you get a card that matches, the card matches each of these flaps here. So this is definitely one you want to get because you're going to be able to see all the new ink colors together. And if you're somebody that likes to get all the new in color ink pads and the in color Designer Series paper, this is a perfect coordination with it. And it's so economical for $10 to get 20 cards and 20 beautiful envelopes. So you can go ahead and try doing this fun little thing. I'm going to show you real quick again how I did that cutting there. Okay, I'm going to show you using another piece here. Okay, so what did we do? We took any 6x6 piece of paper and we went to 1.5. We went to 1.5 and made a tick mark. We turned it again, went to 1.5 again, 1.5 again. Then we went to 1.5 again. And we might right be back where we started. And 1.5 again. Okay? And then all you do is pick 2 tick marks. We got one on this side and one on this side, and we just put those 2 opposite. One will be on the top, one will be on the bottom, and they're on opposite sides. So you know you've made your marks right. If you've got one on the top, one on the bottom, and they're opposite sides, then we just cut through. Then we just flip that 6x6. And what do you do if you, and now we're going to find the other side here. We have a tick mark here on the other side. What do you do if you don't have any 6x6 paper? All you do is cut your 12x12 into a 6x6, or if you've used part of that paper, now I'm looking for my tick mark here. Here's the one there. And the one down here, I'm not seeing it. So what I'm gonna do is make, or it's right there. I'm just gonna make sure, I'm gonna double check myself here. I'm just gonna make sure that I have it there, 1.5. because I think I have the mark there, but it's right on a print of the paper. So if you're just trying to figure that out, it's just, you would be at 1.5 inches up from the edge of the paper. And when you're making little pencil marks, you see the little pencil mark there and there, keeping these pieces of paper together. And see, it slid a little bit, but that is not going to matter. It slid a tiny bit there. You want to keep it together, but if it does slide, this is the most forgiving project, because all you really are totally worrying about, you technically maybe don't even have to measure, but all you're worrying about is keeping a straight corner, okay? So a straight corner, and the straight corner is, where's that straight corner? Okay, here. So there you go. Those are your 4 pieces. And then all you do is you put them onto your card. So all you do is take, say this could go, on this one it would go like, it can't go like that. It would go like this, okay? So that could go there. And then this one will go down here, and some of them will fit. Some of them you could put, you know, like different ways to set depending, but you just need a corner. So like this one would be on this corner. So as long as you're putting a corner, you could put a couple of them, like they could go the same way. You know, you could make it landscape, you can make a portrait, but as long as you have these corners, but it is fun to make it to, so all the corners are different. So we'll have some pictures of those later on for you. So don't forget to look at those beautiful cards and Tea Boutique cards and envelopes that feature all the beautiful ink colors. We've got some fun matte decorative dots coming at us. We've got the beautiful twine that coordinates as well. The designer series paper that comes in fun patterns, pinstripes, polka dots, plaids, and posies. Pinstripes, plaids, posies, and plaid, posies, pinstripes, polka dots, the 4 Ps. So we're going to have a lot of fun in the next couple years with these new ink colors. Thanks for buys and bye, friends. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I like to post a video on Wednesdays, and then usually a blog post on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, showing cards that I'm making and things I'm experimenting with and creating with. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.